Hey, welcome to Cowboy Leather and Shoe Repair. I just want to do a quick video on your basic tools you need to start out in your leather crafting. You don't have to go into debt, spend hundreds and thousands of dollars if you're just going to do this as a hobby. So, we're going to give you quick what I started out with, and I built on from there. You need a decent hammer. This is a polymer hammer. Good, it's light. It's great for doing your tooling and punching and stuff like that. I use this for when I do my tooling. You can pick these up on the internet for $4 or $5. This you can go to Tandy, pick them up for $12, $13 a piece. They're very handy. They last quite a bit, or for quite a while, excuse me. Now you need a decent pair of scissors. These are leather scissors. You can also use carpet scissors too, but I find that these hold a better edge than most scissors. Again, you can pick these up on the internet. Wing divider. You need a wing divider for you're setting your edges, and you want to cut circles. It lays out great for cutting circles. Now, as far as knives and cutting utensils, very simple. That's a great tool. Interchangeable blades. I like the curved blade. It cuts real good. It's good for 8 ounce, 9 ounce, 10 ounce leather. I've used it for down to 7, 8. I use that for doing tight cutting. I don't know if you can see it, but it's also got a curved blade. For a long time, I used the straight blades, but I've seen a lot of leather crafters, professionals are using these. The blades are interchangeable. You just unscrew it, and you got this one stuck in there. It's been in there a while. And you can sharpen these. You just take a piece of leather, and I always have a block of wood with a couple pieces of leather tacked to it or glued, and you just take and run it back and forth like you're sharpening a straight razor. It'll last you a long time if you don't bugger up. Now, you need a awl, scriber, whatever you want to call it, for scribing around your patterns and straight lines. Need a good, I use a metal ruler, some people use wood, but I use that for cut straight lines, measuring, everything else. Also would be handy if you got a 36 inch for cutting, if you got to cut long or straight. Oh, you'll also use one of these for small, just cutting itty bitty little slices. And let's see here. Scriber, or excuse me, a skiver. You can get these online. Get them at Tandy or any place that sells leather products. There is a very handy tool. It's a rotary hole punch. You've got 6 choices. Goes from a number 1 all the way up to a number 6. Very handy. You can buy the cheaper ones, but trust me, spend the extra money, get the better one, all metal. It's a good solid piece. You can get them cheap ones. Now, depending on it, they won't poke a hole through very thick leather, and if you try, you're going to bend it in 2. Oh, let's see here. Very handy for cutting belt blanks, straps, whatever. Very handy. This one here adjusts up to 4 inches. I've got 2 of them. I've got one like this, and I've got one like this. I started out with this one about 7, 8 years ago. Now, if you're going to get into doing any stitching, I would suggest getting a hand awl and hand sewing. You can get these with a roll of thread, wax thread. You can get them at Hobby Lobby or any place that sells crafts. Now, if you're going to do hand stitching, get yourself a couple different sizes of Saddler's stitching needles. That one's a big one. It's got the big eye in it. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Very handy. You need yourself a spool of wax thread. There's a smaller saddles stitching. They have a very blunt end on them. That's where that comes in handy, or something like that. Now, I do recommend, these are hollow punches. Same thing as this will do. These you whack with your hammer. And basically, and you get yourself some kind of glue. This is not a regular glue pot, but a glue pot with a brush. You can get any kind of bonding, but I use barred cement because I do heavy duty work, and I want it to, when I stick it together, I want it to stay there. Now, as far as what tools do I recommend to start off with? Hole punch, some kind of cutting device, wing divider. I like to use carpenter pencils because you sharpen them, and the lead, you got a bigger piece of lead in there, it doesn't break off as easy. Scribe, Saddler's awl, whatever, and either one of these two will work for starting your beginners. You know, that's basically it. You can build on from there. What I like to think, if you start out using the inexpensive tools, you can go and buy better quality leather. Now, as far as getting your leather, you can go online. You'll find scraps, or you can go to any craft store and pick up what they call a farmer's bundle, which is a bag of different shapes, different sizes, different thicknesses of leather in it. Excuse me. That's a great way to start. I started out that way, and I've made a lot of good stuff out of it. And something else that's very handy, clamps. You get deals where you want to clamp stuff together while you're stitching it, or while you're waiting for the glue to dry. I use these. You can go into the dollar stores and pick them up for $1 a piece. I got the big ones, and I got the littler, smaller ones. But basically, that's it. You can get this stuff, pick it up a little bit at a time, but like I say, the main part that you'll need if you're going to do any serious leather work: punch, way to cut your leather, knife. You can go buy the throwaway X-Acto knives, or the throwaway knives in the store. You can also buy the ones where they're come in a plastic handle. You just snap the end of the blade off as it gets dull. Those are very handy. I used those when I started out. But you got to start out small. Don't go out there and spend all sorts of big money, because you may find that you don't want to do this anymore. It's fun, it's interesting, and I've been in this leather crafting for the better part of 7 to 8 years now, and I enjoy it. It's relaxing. I've made a little money at it, but the bottom line is, it's fun. It's fun to work with leather. You can do all sorts of things with leather. Some people like to cut and work with wood. I like working with leather. I can make a lot of bags. In fact, I've got a bag here that I'm just putting together. This is a belt bag. When I get it all done, it'll have I haven't quite figured out if I'm going to put a snap, or not a snap, but just what kind of closure I'm going to use on it yet. But that I made out of scraps. I've got full sheets, but you end up, when you have full sheets of leather and you get done cutting everything that you want out of it, you take a 20 square foot piece of leather and you'll end up with 2-foot scraps, sometimes even smaller. That was made out of scraps. But I guess that's it. Listen to me yakking long enough. So it's nice sharing what I know about it, and happy crafting. Bye now.